Hello and welcome to the channel today. This is going to be one of my favorite movements for the feet. So if you're someone who wants to run faster, walk better, or you're struggling with plantar fasciitis or any kind of heel foot pain, this is probably something that you want to add in your restoration routine for your feet. So this one really doesn't require a lot of equipment. I'm just using my body today, but you probably will need a wall or something like a wall. Get creative. It can be a size of a chair, it can be a stool, it can be something where you're able to push into with your foot. Our feet have a lot of intrinsic foot muscles on the bottom and on the top. And with the kind of shoes that we wear and that we wear since we are infants, they require us to not use our feet as much or these intrinsic foot muscles in order to move, in order for locomotion. So because of that, and because they also are very narrow, they restrict the movement of our feet. They restrict the movement of our toes. And because of this, those muscles in the foot, in the ankle even, they begin to atrophy. When these muscles atrophy, we can feel things like plantar fasciitis, especially if we are using them to walk for long periods of the day. We can feel things like heel pain, arch pain, even toe pain. And that's the way that the body is letting us know, hey, this isn't working correctly. This isn't activating correctly. I'm going to give you some pain so you don't move it as much because this is unstable. This is not functional. And with this exercise and other exercises I'm going to show you on this channel, this is something that you can reduce, if not completely heal from, get rid of, if you're currently struggling with. This is why I got into mobility training, was to help my feet. I was having plantar fasciitis and I had spent 15 years of my life running at that point, and it was pretty odd for a runner who's supposed to be so good and on their feet to have pain. But it turns out, because of the narrow shoes and cleats I was wearing in years of sports, combined with pretty bad running mechanics and walking mechanics, my feet muscles were really atrophied. When I would look down at my toes, I wasn't able to move my toes independently. I wasn't able to lift or spread the feet, which is where we're going to start here. So know that being without foot pain is possible for you. It can, of course, be linked to other conditions. It's not always a mobility issue, but I will tell you the stuff that is within your realm of the things that you can change is your mobility, and this can help a lot with that and can help decrease your pain. So we're going to get into the movement today, and I'm going to have you start with moving the toes, moving the feet. So where we're going to start today, and where I would start for you if you are currently feeling foot pain, is going to be release work. Now I got this really big trigger point ball. You can use your dog's ball, you can use a lacrosse ball, massage ball, whatever you have. And you can also hold on to something while you do this too, because if you're already feeling foot pain, you might want to hold on and give yourself some balance support here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll my foot until I feel an area that feels like a big bruise. When you find that big bruise, it helps to have a little bit of smaller ball what I'm using here, but this gives you the idea. I'm going to relax my foot down into the ball, and I'm going to take some big breaths. And what we're looking for, we got really big inhales in through the nose, really big exhales out any way you like. And you're going to hang here for around 20 to 30 seconds or around 5 to 10 breaths. And what we're looking for is, if you started with tension, say I started with tension on this point at around an 8, I want to get to a 6. So we could be here all day, especially for the parts in the feet. They tell us a lot about other organ systems in the body. So it's not just why we're feeling foot pain is not just foot pain, but just look for all the different bruisey spots on your feet. Hang around for 5 to 10 breaths, taking big inhales, taking big exhales. And you're just looking for a reduction in tension on all of those spots of the ball. So take your time, work your way around each foot, finding what you need here to release. So what this does, we have a bunch of different pressure receptors in our skin that are responsible to pressure. And what we do by pushing on them is we tell the signal to the brain that causes that joint pain, that causes that discomfort, to be less. So, and also it brings blood flow, it brings tissue hydration. So we're helping getting literally fluid, lymph, blood, nerve healing that way. But then we're also telling the brain by pushing on it, and this works for every area of the body also that you're experiencing pain, to chill out, to reduce that sensation. So again, I'm finding those bruisey spots. I got one right here. I find that spot, I allow myself to sink down, which seems counterintuitive, but that's what we want to do here. And then we're taking really big inhales Really big exhales. Down into the ball until we feel that reduced tension by a couple degrees. And then once you've done all of those spots, we're going to kick the ball away and then moving the toes. So first one I'll have you do is you're going to lift both of your toes off the ground. You're going to lift them, you're going to spread them as wide as you can, and then we're going to set the toes back down. This might seem really easy. I'm glad that this is really easy for you. For some, it's not going to be. When I first started doing this, I wasn't able to fully spread out my toes, so it hasn't always been easy for me. You're going to lift, spread, and set it down. Lift, spread, and set it down. If this is something that's already feeling challenging, that you're noticing that you're not able to spread your toes, then we're going to want to add in something else. So I'm going to use a towel. You can use a sock. You can use something else that a sock, even some nail salon toe spreaders work really great with this. And you're going to begin to thread this through your toes. So I'm literally going to create like a little sock almost, or like they call this the sock weave. You're going to weave it between each one of your toes. Looks a little silly, but now when you're able to lift your toes, you should be able to spread your toes a little bit more and then set them down. Now, for the purpose of this video, it doesn't really show that well here, but if you're struggling with spreading, I want you to thread something through. It helps us have something like a thin sock or some kind of thin implement like that. On those, lifting, spreading, weaving your sock in between here if you need to, and then I'm going to move on to the next one. So we're going to lift, spread. I would start with one foot at a time, so I'm starting with my right, and now we're going to wave. So you're going to think about big toe down, fourth toe, third toe, second toe, big toe. So I call these toe pianos, but they're really just toe waves. We're doing one toe at a time, lift, spread, piano. And while we're doing these, we're probably going to feel the feet stretching. You could feel your toes stretching. Even amazing enough, we could feel the arch. All of those things are great because, again, the muscles that move our toes support our arch and intrinsically support our arch muscularly. So it's awesome if we're able to feel those in that area. And you're going to do somewhere between 10 to 50 reps of these. Now, this is something that as you're waiting in line, as you're sitting in your bathtub, standing in your shower, going about your life, if you're someone who notices that this is challenging, this is what I would start doing. No one can see what you're doing most of the time. It just looks like you're chilling. If you're wearing shoes, no one's going to know. But this is going to help you get that activation back into your feet, back into your toes. It's going to help with your balance. It's going to help with your foot pain, and it's going to make life a lot easier for you. So also can help with knee pain. So literally so important. So after we've done those, we're going to go on the next one. This one's a little more challenging. Big toe's going to stay down. And you're going to see if you can lift your other toes. Right away, you might not be able to do this movement. So this is where I want you to lean down, give your big toe a push into the earth, and see if you can do it then. And you're going to hold this position for 10 seconds. So I like to count out 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then as I'm counting, I'm actively thinking about driving that big toe into the ground. And notice, you see how it's a little bit easier if my knees kind of spiral in here? Or not, that is a compensation, and even that I do naturally. So you might as well. So you're trying to keep your feet parallel to the ground, knees pointing straight ahead. Think about driving your big toes down in the earth. I'm doing 2 feet right now, but I would probably start with 1. And you're going to push that guy again into the ground for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And we'll do one more round just for you, for timing's sake. Push that big toe down for 10, 9. Actively reach those other toes up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is big toe flexion. Now we're going to find big toe extension. So maybe you guessed it, maybe you didn't. All the other toes are going to go down. Can you lift your big toes up? Now, if you're like, Joe, no way, I want you to do 1 foot at a time. And we're going to actively think about reaching that big toe up, keeping our foot square to the ground, because you notice that my knee now wants to roll out a little bit. And we're going to actively help it up. If it needs it, grab it with your hand. And we're going to go for that one for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And then you can switch sides, going 10, 9, 8, 7, grabbing your knee to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I would repeat these both ones, you're lifting your toe, lifting your big toe, you're pushing your big toe down for at least 3 rounds. You could do as much as 10 rounds, somewhere between 5 to 10 seconds of pushing and lifting up. And I felt my toes just now. You might feel numerous parts of your feet, your toes stretching. That means you're doing it right. If you get a toe cramp, that's amazing. None of my clients like that. I get happy about that, but a lot of us either don't feel our feet or have foot pain, and you would much rather feel your muscles in your feet activating than feel nothing. Trust me. And after we've done that one, we're going to do a little bit of a harder variation. You're ready for a little bit more of a challenge? We're going to use that object I was talking about earlier. I'm going to use a wall today. You could use a chair. You could use a stool. You could literally use anything. And we're going to go big toe right to the corner of the wall. And then I'm going to lean forward. Right away, just starting to do this, you might not feel much. Some of my clients will actually feel nothing, but you might feel a stretch in your foot, in your arch. If that's you and you don't feel if you don't feel much here, that's okay. That means we probably need this more than what you think, because we want to be able to feel the muscles in our feet. So this one will help with that. So somewhere, if this is really tight for you, if you're feeling this big stretch in your toe, in your foot, I want you to hold this 1 to 2 minutes. It's a passive stretch. And I want you to lean forward, big toes on the wall, other toes are hanging off until you feel that guy. And again, I'm holding and breathing. Before we do anything here, I want this stretch to be not too bad. So you could hold it like if a 10 is the most tight, like the most stretchy stretch you ever felt. This, I want to be less than a 5 or a 6 before we start what we're about to do. So I'm here taking really big inhales, taking really big exhales, relaxing to this position with your big toe. After we've gotten to a point where this doesn't feel too bad, now we're going to start the isometrics, pretty similar to what I just had you do on the floor, but we're kicking them up a notch. So you're going to think about pushing your big toe into the wall. We're going to start a low effort, working up to a pretty high effort by the 10th second. And I'm going to start that first round now. So I'm going to push it in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a big breath, and then you're going to keep leaning forward. And now I want you to think about flexing your big toe towards your face. Now, if you're doing this right, it feels like you're doing this. You're flexing this guy towards your face, but you're not going to see any movement because we're leaning forward so much that we can't. So you're working against yourself. It's an isometric, so we're contracting the muscle, but no motion is occurring. That's how you know you're doing it right if nothing is occurring. All right, so I'm going to think about flexing that big toe towards my face, activating through the back side of the foot and the ankle, starting now for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking a big breath, and we're going to do 2 more rounds just like that. Push that big toe into the wall, starting now for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe. Good. And then flex it towards your face for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last round. Big breath. Good. And then we're pushing that big toe back into that wall for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big breath. Good. And then last round, flexing it towards the face, feeling the underside of the foot in the arch, starting now for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So doing this guy, we're getting a lot of ankle dorsiflexion, which means we're flexing the foot and the ankle towards our face. And just doing those couple rounds, I'm feeling my arch turn on, I'm feeling my toes turn on. So if you're someone who's a walker, runner, again, struggling with foot pain, this is something you probably want to have in your routine weekly. And again, same as that first one I just had you do on the floor, 3 to 5 rounds. You could even do up to 10 rounds, 5 to 10 seconds contraction, pushing down, pulling in towards the body. This first time you're doing this, I should mention with both of these, you might not feel very much. That's very, very normal, especially with the feet. But as you continue to practice this, we're getting the nerves to remember they fire there. We're getting the body to remember that it can use those muscles. You should get increased activation through the musculature. And this is something that has been really healing for me and my clients. So definitely give it a try, give it a go if you haven't already tried something like this before. And know you can do so much to help improve your walking, running, foot and ankle pain with very simple movements like this. You can literally do from anywhere. So I believe in you. You got this. And don't forget to subscribe for more.